Hey everyone, I'm Rather Coherent, back with the finale for the Scarlet Keys campaign. It's our 8th scenario, we're going into Conquest of the Keys, and boy oh boy was there a lot of setup for this one. First, everyone voted on us. Amaranth wanted to kill us for obvious reasons. Desi wanted to kill us just because, that's the thing to do if someone asks, should I kill this guy I've never seen before? Desi doesn't know us, but he votes to kill you. The people I've worked with, the Claret Knight, Ajay, and Thorn, all voted to spare me. The Beast and the Cowl of Crimson and Aberran. Well, Aberran, I don't know who the hell that is, so they abstained, I guess, for that reason. Beast in the Cowl of Crimson was indisposed because the Claret Knight had handled him with us. And the Red Gloved Man remained eerily silent because the bastard's a mimic. We saved the real Red Gloved Man in the previous scenarios, so when we were doing the voting, we got to the Red Gloved Man remains eerily silent, and we skipped to the Trial 6 because we knew the true nature of the coterie without any more voting. Then in the Trial 6, the Red Gloved Man that we saved, the real one and the leader of the coterie, presumably, shoots the fake Red Gloved Man in the back of the head. It runs off. Everyone else is like, oh yeah, maybe we should work with them. And the Red Coterie spares the cell. There's not really any point to the vote after he shows up and reveals that bit of a bombshell that they've been working for a mimic. But because we never met Desi, he doesn't get killed or replaced with a mimic. And because we made sure Thorn lived through his encounter with the Hydra, he's not a mimic either. So no one else remained eerily silent other than the fake Red Gloved Man. Which means that when we come over to setup version 3, you're going to get the coterie enemies from the Red Coterie encounter set who were eerily silent. That's just the Red Gloved Man for us. And then we come down to they spared the cell. That's how we got here. So along with the Red Gloved Man, each other member of the coterie who was not gathered during the above step, which is all of them, because no one was a mimic. And you put each of them into play under any investigator's control. And for us, that means that we get the full 7. And 4 of them, the Claret Knight has his key because we made sure he got it. We gave Ajay this key. We gave Thorn, or let Thorn keep his key. Desi has his key, obviously. That gets updated during the vote. If you never encountered Desi, you update him on the Mirroring Blade during the voting. So we get 7 story assets. If anyone had remained silent, or if you had gotten here any other way than the people who voted nay, they'd be spawning as enemies. Immediately. Like, Charlie Kane would start with an elite enemy card in his threat area. It's a bit of a big deal. But instead, nothing. Also, as I was setting this up, I realized that at least in the last 2 scenarios, and I'm hoping only the last 2, I forgot to do the thing where you shuffle a coterie enemy into the set. I don't think it would have really affected the outcome of the previous scenarios, but it is a shame I got some rules wrong. Alas, nothing I can do about it now. Right now, I'm trying to figure out if I should be shuffling an enemy into this set, because there are some people that would be involved, and I'm not seeing anything anywhere that tells me not to, so I'm trying to see if it's specified a non-finale over here. And for the life of me, I can't remember where the hell that actually gets written that that's going to happen. Okay, so it's Epsilon here, and it doesn't say non-finale scenario. So is there something telling me to ignore that in setup? Did I just miss the first time through? Okay, so after rereading setup version 3 again, I don't see anything telling me to ignore Epsilon. Epsilon doesn't say don't do it in the finale. So theoretically, since I haven't seen the last of Chica Roja or Amaranth, and I think it's just those 2, or the Beast, theoretically, they could be here. Obviously not Chica Roja because, she's helping me. But I'm just gonna go ahead and assume, based on the lack of polish in other places, that there should be a line in here that just isn't there about ignoring Epsilon, because obviously, most of the people who hate you can't work against you if they're being put in this set, and you're specifically told in the order you're gathering stuff that you don't care who voted nay, you care for enemies who was eerily silent. And then everyone else works with you if you spared the cell. So, I'm going to assume that lack of polish is the reason for this, because it doesn't make any sense if everyone just agrees with the Red Gloved Man, that for some reason Amaranth or the Beast would be like, I know I'm not voting to kill him anymore, but I'm still gonna fucking kill him. So this might be a lack of polish thing, it might be a rules error on my part or theirs, I honestly don't know, but I won't be shuffling anyone into the deck today, because even though there's not something anywhere telling me not to, the fact that the official rules say that La Chica Roja can be a story asset I have and an enemy in the deck doesn't make any sense. Anyway, we have to give all of these out to our 2 investigators. Thankfully, these don't use ally slots. I gave them, or originally considered giving all of them to Charlie, but I only gave him 4. I gave him Chica Roja so that if he ever has an enemy, he can just not use Chica Roja, go into the shadows, and they won't hit him. I gave him Aliki because Aliki is a cross-map asset with no specific ties to anyone, so he may as well have the option to exhaust her for a point. I gave him Thorn because, again, cross-map asset, may as well just give him here. And Sable Glass is technically nicer, I feel like, on Charlie Kane, because he'll be moving around more. Threat Knight as well doesn't really have an effect that our team uses, so I just gave him the Charlie Kane. Although, realistically, Charlie Kane will probably get less value of the Latiferis than Zoey. Oh well. And over here, we have the real Red Glove Man working for Zoey. We also have Desi, who brought his Mirroring Blade. Desi's effect is that he is able to cancel 1 damage he takes from a monster and deal 1 damage back. His Mirroring Blade has the Lightning Bolt Shift ability to deal 2 damage to an enemy at my location, or 1 damage to all enemies, which is pretty good. I've got Ejay, we've used her before, and she has the Anti-Prism, which we've used before as well. Probably better on Zoey. And I should get my Stick to the Plan sorted, huh? So yeah, we're starting with a good pile of assets already in play. Also, I'm not going to shrink the Charlie Kane this time. It spawns in his deck at this size every time, and I normally manually shrink it down. I think it's funny. I'm going to let him just be the giant Charlie Kane for this scenario. It's also why, if you've ever noticed Charlie Kane was snapping to things, it's because it thinks he's a player card, so it snaps like a player card would instead of like a mini, which doesn't snap at all. We've already resolved the Red Glove Man's concealed keyword. I know he doesn't have one, but Act 1 gives him concealed 2. And we've got one here, one there. 3 randomly placed sanctuaries. We don't know what's on the other side. And that's really it for now. We don't start with Redo or anything. That's just from the previous scenario, failed cleanup. I think we're good. I think that's everything being done for setup. I don't think there's anything else I need to catch you up on, aside from what's changed with our decks, because we have too much experience. Coming over to the Charlie deck, I've got Preposterous Sketches 2, because it just puts more draw in a deck where once the combo's online, the deck wins. And I got William Mailson, because what I was cutting was Medical Student, so adding more Soak, and having this effect that, like, I don't want to drop clues on Charlie, but he can pick them back up, no problem. And it is one of the strongest effects in the game. It's better Soak than what I was using, a better rate to pay for the Soak than what I was using previously. And I just don't really need Art Students or Crack the Case. I'd rather draw through my deck faster. So this is what we're going to the last scenario with. I'm not even convinced this upgrade really makes the deck better, but it's the upgrade we went with. Over here on Zoey, down the rabbit hole has started to not really be a good thing anymore. I could have upgraded my Hallowed Mirror, but I just haven't felt the need to do that so far. And with all the Soak we're being given, I don't see a reason to do it now. So I bought Safeguard and a Relic Hunter. And honestly, I've changed my mind on that as I say it. With all the Soak we're being given, I don't even need to play the Hallowed Mirror. It's just a waste of my time. So instead of getting the Relic Hunter, I'm going to get a Charisma again. And just not buy Relic Hunter this campaign, because I don't need it at all. Like, playing this mirror is just a mistake. How much Soak do I start with and play again? The answer is I start with 3-3, 7-4, 9-7 of Soak and play. I think I'll be fine without playing the Hallowed Mirror. That's more than my base health. So just real quick, since I've changed some things, let's switch those around, have this set up correctly. And that's it for setup. So let's get into the scenario. Let's do our mulligans and see what's happening. At a crossroads, emergency cash, toss chance encounter, and practice makes perfect is probably worth keeping opening hands. Not without any allies, it's not enough. I was just drinking water while I drew cards, and this is like the grossest opening hand possible, I think. Just nothing but draw, economy, and I'm gonna be giving this to Charlie Kane. I'm just gonna resolve it now. There's no chance it goes anywhere else. And it's not part of the mulligan, so this does actually spawn. Like, these last 2 cards weren't that good. The chance encounter failed pretty hard, but theoretically the chance encounter was one of the best cards in the game to have in that opening hands. Anyway, over here for Zoey, our opening hand, we've got the Safeguard level 2 we just picked up. That seems really valuable because Charlie just keeps leaving me behind, so I won't Safeguard to keep up with him. We don't want this Hallowed Mirror. Charlie can hand to himself. I want that Survival Knife. The rest of it can go. Stand Together is wonderful. I'll be going first on Zoey to play that onto my partner. I'm playing Stand Together level 2, gain 2, draw 2 on both of us, which is just such a powerful card. Deep Knowledge over there, so we have Steam for days. I've only got 2 assets right now. I don't have a third one. I'm going to tap, stick to the plan, play Emergency Cash level 2, gain 3, draw a card. There's the third asset to put into play, and with this Charisma, I can feel good about not like running out of space for beat cops or anything. Last action. I can use this Lightning Bolt at this location. It's a 2-shroud no clue location that connects to everything else, but as a Lightning Bolt, you can exhaust a Conspirator asset, which I have no shortage of to move to a connecting location. I can Lightning Bolt up and Spectral Razor that guy immediately. I mean, sure. I'll exhaust Ejay and use her ability. Vicious Blow can go under Ejay, which this is under Ejay now. We'll exhaust Tessie to actually move. And now that we're up here, we'll just Spectral Razor this guy for 1, because when we engage with him, we get the 1 money back from being Zoey. and we're swinging at 8-2. Yeah, get out of here, kid. So I guess we've dealt with that weakness now. Let's see what this location was. That seems like a thing we should have done before we hit him. 3 cost, 2 resources. What am I doing? I'm so out of it. 3 shroud, 2 clues. Action exhausting conspirator asset to search the top 6 of your deck for an asset, draw it, and shuffle the rest into your deck. That's pretty good. There's a reason to do that. But I'm out of actions. Don't really see a reason to use any of these just yet. Probably just saving all of them for dealing primarily with the final boss. Don't really see a reason to flip them unless they're easy to flip back. Placing a Doom on an asset you control is super easy. We can just do that when we're at 2 Doom already. So, that's easy enough. 1 direct damage is kind of annoying. And discarding an asset is kind of annoying. But this one's like super easy to flip back. So I'm just gonna look at the top 3 cards in my deck and draw one. That seems pretty good. We've got a weakness. Glad I'm shuffling. I'll take Beat Cop. Next up, what on earth is happening with Charlie Kane? You have way more abilities than you should for a turn 1. Who's not getting used this turn? Nothing's getting hollowed. I lightning bolt up with Charlie Kane, using this ability on that room. The Colette Knight doesn't matter. He's just stuff. You're just stuff. When I say stuff, I mean 1 question mark because I'm Charlie. Okay. This one's not that hard to flip back, but it can be a little bit annoying. This is just direct horror. What are you? Discard 2 random cards. No, thank you. And I want one of these handled immediately. One that has like no real penalty to flip back. So I might just flip this because it's the easiest one to flip back. Even though it doesn't do anything. Like, I'm not getting a benefit for flipping that key. I just really don't want to draw my weakness and flip all 4 keys. Because over here, we can already just immediately flip the anti-prism if we draw the weakness, and it'll be Ancient Evils, and that'll suck, but that's still manageable. Yeah, I'm just going to waste this key to flip it to its unstable side so I can flip it back if I get that weakness. Still haven't used an action. I'm going to play Bonnie Walsh. That just seems like a good starting place. And we're still pretty high on cards. But we can play them next turn. I'm going to play Emergency Cash and draw 1. We got both chance encounters. We're just looking for dogs now. That's it for us. Enemy phase. He's not doing anything. He's just up here in the shadows. So, upkeep phase. We're at a crossroads, boys. Let's see what the other draw was first. Bandolier, huh? Pretty nice, pretty nice. We've got some assets going on. Who would I want to draw cards on? The problem is, At a Crossroads triggers when you draw during the upkeep phase, and then you check hand size. So this is actually just gonna discard cards, basically. I don't have cards to discard in Zoe. If I draw 3 over here, I can toss the Deep Knowledge, I can toss the Milson, there are things I can toss. So this just has to go on to Charlie. Deep Knowledge doesn't need to be here, Milson doesn't need to be here, and that puts us down to 8. Good. I know Milson's a sick card, I don't want to discard him, but I think he's my best discard. Because I don't even have clues to drop right now. Does the act get rid of my clues? Sort of. My money's going to this, and then, like, there's so much else my money's going to. I'm not going to get to play Milson anytime soon. He's the right discard. I'm going to stop debating it. Going to add the Doom, make sure the deck is shuffled, and let's see what's happening. Well, shit. Okay, cool. Ancient Evils is in the set. Glad to see that turn 1. Reasoning is distorted. How does that apply to Ever Vigilant? It seems like Ever Vigilant's 1 play action. I'm just going to assume Distorted Reasoning doesn't break Ever Vigilant. Tell me if I'm cheating in the comments. I'm pretty sure there's no reason it would stop this. But it's entirely possible that it does just break Ever Vigilant, which would be very dumb. Anyway, going first on Zoe, Ever Vigilant. We're going to play Safeguard, Beat Cop, Survival Knife, just to get online. That's 8 down to 5. Do I also want to play Tetsuo or the Bandolier? The Bandolier is pretty reasonable because I just don't... They're both reasonable, honestly. Yeah, I'm just full playing assets this turn. Just Tetsuo, Bandolier. Running out of board space real fast, though. Okay, I've scooched everything over just a little bit to make the space I know I'll need later. Anyway, Bandolier Tetsuo is all the money I had left. And going over to Charlie's turn, I'm going to go ahead and just tie Baby Zoe here to the Charlie because they're never separating now. They're just together forever. Yeah, there we go. Now Charlie Kane will just drag Zoey everywhere because that's just what Safeguard does in a 2-player game. I'm never leaving his side ever for any reason. Haven't found a way to discard a dog yet and forgotten about it. We're going to start this off by playing Leo DeLuca. Don't like the way these are ordered. Down to 2 resources. Play an emergency cache. Draw a card, gain 3. Chance encounter, Leo DeLuca, emergency cache. I haven't forgotten anything. There are clues at this location, but there's also the slight problem of I'm not doing anything, and Preposterous Sketches is overdrawing. But if I draw a dog, that's not even a problem. I play Preposterous Sketches. We hit my weakness, but I planned around this. Everyone takes 1 direct horror, which is just like not a problem at all. So I must choose 1, but I'm not shifting the unstable key. Because this says if an investigator shifted it, flip it to its stable side. This is an encounter card flipping it. I was thinking because you must flip an unstable key. That's not what it says though. You must choose and then the encounter card flips it. Which is not awkward wording at all, but that's fine. And then I'll play Magnifying Glass out and I don't even overdraw anymore. Nice. I forgot Magnifying Glasses between this, dogs, and weaknesses. It's just not a big deal to fail anything. Is there stuff I should be doing here? Claret Knight doesn't matter, although I can use him to teleport resources around, kind of funny. Actually, no, that's not true, because we don't all control him, it's just Charlie now. Yeah, nothing else is happening, so that's all it is for now. I'm going to go ahead and go to upkeep phase then. Wait, what was my... Yeah, this turn didn't work. Going back to Zoey, my reasoning being distorted absolutely affects Tetsuo and Bandolier. I'm going to gain a resource and then play Bandolier. And then I'm going to test distorted reasoning up 1. Throw guts at it because I'm the fighter. I need to get through that. Tablet says... Always forget something in setup. This time it was the cards. -2, easy game. Does it say automatically fail? Gross. Only gets ready outside our enemies, but it's not like I dodge for shit. Draw a card from the guts. Get rid of this. Okay. And now we're actually done. We did the turn correctly this time. Upkeep phase. Next Magnifying Glass is nice to see. We can finally start investigating. Agenda advances. Thanks, Ancient Evils. We're in version 3, so we flip 2 keys from their stable side to their unstable side, immediately resolve an additional enemy phase, then resume with the current phase. Well, there are no enemies, so that's good. We have to flip 2 keys. I don't need the healing. And over here... Oh, I just forgot to do this. Can we imagine I did this? Let's imagine this was flipped over. I put a Doom on my beat cop that didn't matter, and this just got flipped back over immediately. I literally explained the plan and then didn't do it because I'm just bad at the game. We're going to imagine I did. And then we resume with the current phase. Next one has 10 Doom. That's a substantially higher number. And going into evil cards. We've got a paracausal entity. We've had to throw a card out. They all kind of suck. Don't want to throw any of these out, actually. This is dogs. This is encyclopedias. This is draw. That's draw. Do I really need the extra clue finding power to win this scenario? Call me crazy. I'm going to haul the deduction. I don't think I need it. And over here, can you stop with that shit? I guess it doesn't matter. The first one doesn't matter really either. It just hauls some stuff, or flips some keys rather. Like, yeah, I'm upset about getting Ancient Evils into an agenda flip sooner, but the second one does nothing. The game is balanced around expecting me to draw them, so drawing Ancient Evils there really is blanks. My initial salt is unwarranted. Now, over here, to flip this back is not going to be so easy this time around. I'm going to beat cop this guy as a lightning bolt, and then heal him immediately with the last blossom to get it back to the correct side. I actually cannot do that, because I was thinking each key can be flipped once per round by a player, but that's not true. If it's attached to a player or their story asset, it can only be flipped once per round. It's only if it's attached to an enemy that it can be flipped multiple times, so that beat cop play doesn't happen. We'll find something to beat cop next turn, or a turn after that. At some point we can do it, but not right now. So for this, it's just like, find a turn. Ajay, look at the top card. All in mirror, don't care. For this, I'm just trying to like do 2 useful actions and then kill the guy. I probably kill the guy even with like normal stabs, thanks to the red gloved man. It's a monster, so beat cop and Desi just kill it, funnily enough. I'm going to spend 3 resources and play Tetsuo. That's just like a decent enough way to start. Gonna slide this stuff over here. Don't have enough room for all these ally assets, so I'm gonna have 6 of them soon. Honestly, I don't think there's anything else to do, so I'm just gonna draw a card. Hey, Guts. And then I engage with this guy last action. He hauls one of my cards, and probably buy Guts. I don't think I need the Spectral Razor, I'm gonna be honest. There are aloof enemies that don't do anything, though. So yeah, I'm gonna toss Spectral Razor. Don't need that. That leaves Charlie free to finally start playing the game. Magnifying Glass goes down, doesn't even cost a resource, it's upgraded. We're currently investigating 3-3 base, but we can adjust those numbers pretty heavily. Perception, Unrelenting, Seal the Good tokens. Who doesn't matter? Lashika Roja doesn't matter. Oh, Thorn does stuff, right, yeah. Well, the best thing I could have done is give myself an action. So let's just imagine I have another action this turn, and it's this first action that I'm using to investigate. Claret Knight doesn't do anything. We aren't exposing many cards. Actually, we might be, so that's actually not a good tap. So we've got 1-2 taps initially for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to 3. There are -5s in the bag, and 4 of them at that. I'd like to go a little bit higher. So I'll tap Leo, go 12 to 3. Only a -2, so crushed it. There goes the free action from Thorn that I just forgot about a second ago. Unrelenting goes away, Perception goes away. Draw 4 cards, because I didn't draw Unrelenting on time, as always. That's a little bit rough, guys. I just forgot about Burden of Leadership there. It's fine. They're all fine. This is why you don't elect Charlie Kane to lead your conspiracy group. It seems appropriate that I get punished for that again here. I'm going to exhaust Bonnie Walsh, and then because she's Bonnie Walsh, I still get her ability, I think. Yeah, I can still, it just says after you exhaust Bonnie Walsh, I just exhausted Bonnie Walsh. So I'm going to use her ability to ready, I guess, Leo, because he's best at investigating. And I also get a clue. I'm now going to investigate again, base 3, 4, 5, Unrelenting again, good tokens again. Draw 2, and we're testing 6 to 3. That is a fail, but I can flip a stable key to pass. Not really too concerned about that, I'll take the fail. And now I'll spend my next 2 actions playing Chance Encounter twice to get these dogs out, because I have exactly enough money to do that. And now I'll investigate 7 to 3 as a Lightning Bolt, and get that clue. And I'll investigate 7 to 3 as a Lightning Bolt, and see what this mini is. Cool. Oh. Damn it. Does that advance? You cannot be damaged. We need to spend 4 clues with them. Hey, Zoe, here you go. Hold on to that for a second, okay? The minis are gone, I guess. Get out of here, guys. Last action, I'm going to move down here. I revealed a mini. What does that do? Draw a holo card. I'm gonna take deduction back for myself. And next turn, I can warp up to the next location. That's fine. And then during the enemy phase, there's a little bit more engaged with me than there was supposed to be initially. I'm gonna tap Beat Cop and soak the damage here. Oh wait, I can't actually deal damage to this guy because of, yeah, like attacking him doesn't do anything. He cannot be damaged. So I'm just taking 1/1 here. There's nothing else to it. That's fine. Hey Tetsu, I've got terrible, terrible news. Anyway, we're not tapping the Beat Cop, we're just survival knifing the guy. That's gonna be 5, 6, 7 to 3. There is the -5. I'll commit an overpower level 2 to this. That's like guts. And now I pass at pretty much anything. Skull, not even close. Draw 2 cards. Kill him. We do get Testo hit here, and that's fine. Flip a key. Put a doom on something that I intend to get rid of, huh? Hey, Tetsuo, terrible, terrible news about your life expectancy. And again, that's not me shifting it, that's the weakness, so I don't think this flips. Okay, that's it for us. That was the enemy phase. Upkeep phase. Prosperous Sketches is back. Fang of Tirthra. 2 of 10, really 3 of 10, but that's probably not going to go through. Test 3, for each one I fail by, have bad news. You guys should be ready. The burden of leadership when I have like 7 story assets from like famous criminals to mayoral assistants to conspiracy members to demon dogs. Burden of leadership feels right in this case. I've got more magical artifacts I know what to do with. I'm just stressed out about this. I don't even think it mattered is the funny thing. Like, I don't even think it did anything to me. Anyway, test 3 head for each one I fail by. Hollow some cards in my hand. I'd rather not. I kind of like want all of these. I can do that. I can just toss these 3, but I don't want to. I'm going to tap Chica Roja. I'm going to tap the Claret Knight. I'm going to... That's currently only 3-3. Throw a Guts over. 5-3. I don't have anything to practice makes perfect into for this. So up 2 is all I get for this, unfortunately. Oh, well, fuck me, I guess. All right, cool. Guts is gone. Goodbye, Preposterous Sketches. Goodbye, Take Heart. Actually, I might need to hold that Sketches to refill my hand. Definitely goodbye, Take Heart. Goodbye, Deduction. I have a Perception level 2 on my deck, don't I? Okay, I've got Steam. I've got Steam for days. I don't need this. We're good. And someday I'll do this in the right order. Ancient Evils again. There's all 3 of them. So it looks like we're further behind on tempo than we really are. It's just we've drawn all the Ancient Evils already. We're going to go first on Charlie so that we can progress the act and get rid of this red-gloved man. Going to walk up to this one this time as a lightning bolt by exhausting Thorn. I could have gotten an immediate action, which probably would have been better, but I don't like doing things retroactively, so we're doing it this way. Despite the abundance of times that's happened in this campaign, I don't like doing it. Phi Shroud, 2 clues. After you investigate here, instead of discovering clues, choose an unempowered key attached to an investigator at your location. Place a resource on that key as an empowerment. That key is empowered. If it is shifted, its controller may spin the empowerment instead of flipping it to its unstable side. Instead of discovering clues is not a phrase I like, but I can imagine that being good. If you can break through it reliably, which it looks like I can. I need clues, though, first and foremost. So I'm going to dog the location at 7-5. Make that 10-5 and get the dog back. That'll be 1 clue. I'm going to dog the location. Use this. Make that 9-5. That's a fail. Going to dog the location. Practice makes perfect. Should have done this on the first one. What am I doing? Get perception. 10-5. Skull, -1. Draw 2. Put this back in my hand. Get the clue. Not the whole location, please. All right, so what do I want to do with my actual actions? There's no real penalty tokens, right? I'm going to investigate with Take Heart and fail. Oh, wow, what a surprise. Draw 2 cards, gain 2 resources. How many ally slots do I actually have filled? Only 4? Okay. There's nothing in my deck to hit with this Practice Makes Perfect just for next cycle at this point. I don't want to keep drawing because I can hit Burden of Leadership again this turn. It's like turn 3, but I could hit it twice right now. I want this Perception cycled back in for the Practice Makes Perfect. I'm going to investigate 3, 4, 5, 6. Do I even need deductions? 7, 8 to 5 to try to empower a key? Is that right? I'm not up by enough to trigger the Perception, which is what I wanted to do. It's not right to do that. So we've failed a Take Heart test so far with our actual actions. The rest seems pretty shit, so instead of trying to do anything here, I'm just going to spend my clues, right? This is not end of the round. Shit, it's end of the round. I am going to play Abigail Foreman. There's just not enough room for her so she can live there. And I'm going to gain a resource. And would Zoe benefit from me engaging this enemy off of her? We all would. Okay, I engage the red-gloved man. Zoe plays Stand Together level 2. And with that, I think I deep knowledge myself. And add 2 curses. And then I engage the red-gloved man back because they like, this is just what we're doing with life. This happens sometimes. Enemy phase. Oh no, Tetsuo, how could this happen to you? What a horrible surprise. Anyway, about my survival knives. I don't know if I used Ejay that turn. I don't think I did. I don't care. I'm not correcting it. It'll happen later. Anyway, upkeep phase. I don't even overdraw, funnily enough. Over here, I definitely do. Never mind. It's a day of reckoning. I hope you weren't too attached to that Elder Sign, Charlie. And we're still good on card size now. Good. Please ready. I know it's like very complicated and there's too much stuff on the board, but I need you to do your jobs. 4 of 10 Doom and evil cards. Oh, wait. We're getting ahead of ourselves. We advance at the end of the round. We have exactly 4 clues, so I'll just click the button to kill them. Remove all the locations from the game. We're done with this. We're leaving immediately. So Big Charlie and Zoe are at the Knotted Tower. 3 Shroud, no clues. Reaction: when you place a location adjacent to it, move to that location. And we're using the Overworld deck again, or the Otherworld deck rather. So we're just gonna take this, put 3 in the shadows, take our 3 minis, shuffle those, and I don't think we use decoys right now, correct? Take the top 3 locations, place them in the line, take the 3 City of Remnants mini cards, shuffle them face down, and arrange them one to its left, right, and below. Yes. So this is the way those are arranged initially. We're all there. The red gloved man is no longer beating me up. He's up here now. Good job, Tetsuo. You died for the cause. You did exactly what you were supposed to. Just soaked mandatory damage and then got me a survival knife. With that done, I had just placed the 4th Doom when I was saying, no, I'm doing it wrong. Get another one of these guys. I don't need this deep knowledge. And I get... But there's no Tetsuos left. Who am I supposed to put this on? I think this one's just Ancient Evils. I only have the 1 Bandolier. Yeah, that's just Ancient Evils. If I decide I want to kill it, though, it's easiest to kill my Beat Cop, so I'll put it on him. Shame about Tetsuo dying too early. Apparently, we needed him around for 1 more turn. Now, over here, I believe, just do the Edge thing. Runic Axe, don't need it. I am going to play Survival Knife, Runic Axe, Engage. Seems pretty good. And as a consequence of engaging, I need to hollow a card. That card can be... I'll keep letting me handle this for a little while. I don't know that I need Daring, but I like having it. It's got to be one of these two, right? I'm not getting rid of my signature, not getting rid of Fang, upgraded Vicious Blows, and Overpowers. It's got to be one of these two. Daring's got to be the least valuable card I have right now. And that leaves Charlie free to actually play the game and progress the act. Our current objective is to find a way into the tower where the Infiltrator lies in wait. If we enter Gravity-Defying Climb, advance. And right now, the gate is locked. We need 8 clues to enter the Gravity-Defying Climb. So we gotta do this stuff. We're investigating at 3 to find this. Dog the location. That is 7 to 3. Still fails at one of the numbers. I'll be unrelenting about it. Seal +100. Oh wait, no, this is the first test. We don't need to unrelent on this. We just Bonnie this one and get the dog back, and that puts us at 10. Cultist, easy game. I don't know which one I wanted. Let's go right. That's the left one, ironically. We get a decoy. We get the one on the left. We put this down on the left. Flip these, shuffle them. I'm going to go down and right. There's a reaction ability to... where is it? Here it is. I moved to that location. But also, this was the one on the left, so I take 1 damage. I think we'll find a way to manage. Someone here has to have the soak. Hey, Claret Knight, I see that 4 health over there. This has 2 clues on it. Increase the difficulty to fight each concealed mini card here by 2. I'm not doing that. I'm investigating them. But also, I should probably pick up some clues. So I'll just go 7 to 2 real quick. That's 1 clue. 7 to 2 again. That's another clue. Take both clues real quick. And I guess I should probably consider playing Encyclopedia for 2. And sure, I'll gain a money and play the Raven Quill. Oh, there are no clues here. I pick up the magnifying glass to put the encyclopedia down, and then once it's attached to Abigail, I put the magnifying glass back down because it no longer takes up hand slots. And then as my last action, I use the encyclopedia and Abigail to boost my book to 5, and the Raven Quill has the upgrade that lets it ready another asset. So I ready a dog, and then I dog at 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You get the drill. 0, this one's flipped, it was a decoy. Okay. Good job, Charlie. Fully online. A little bit gross what's happening over there. Should anyone here have done anything? Before this enemy attacks, when we're doing the survival knife test for the first one, I tap Beat Cop. I deal a damage to it and a damage to the Beat Cop. And then I flip this last Blossom and heal the damage away. We can also just afford to take 1 direct horror, but I need to keep this like this because I'm going to draw the weakness again that flips all my keys. So I think that's it. First survival knife test, 5, 6, 7 to 3. I would really like to be beating the cultist, but I'm not committing cards to this. I got another survival knife. Easy game, get out of here. Upkeep phase. Emergency cash. I'm kind of done with needing money. There's the second beat cap I've been looking for. 6 of 10 doom and evil cards. Hey there, buddy. What do you do? I think the answer is basically nothing, and we're going to leave you in the dust. If you end your turn at his location. All right, cool. He's AFK. He's not participating. He does literally nothing. We're never doing that. What's the next card? Paradimensional Terror. I can flip each decoy over, shuffle all concealed mini cards in play, and place them face down at random positions they were in. That's completely fine. That doesn't actually matter at all, because that's still just 3 guaranteed hits, so sure. Now they're different. That's fine. Safeguard is so funny. I just don't have to think about Zoey anymore. It's just like, yeah, she's hanging out. On Zoey, I'm going to play the Beat Cop for 4 and the Cross as our first 2 actions. And as our last action, I'll just swing at the decoy here. Shroud value is 2, but it goes up to 4 because this is Rambling Routes. I'll use my Axe. Actually, I'm going to deal with the Paradigm Effacer. I'm going to use Hunt, and I'm also going to use +1 damage. That swings me at 4, 5, 6, 7 to 3. So I engage as the first part of this with the Inscription of the Hunt. And then I'm swinging up 4. I commit Overpower just to cycle my deck, basically, and get back to my skills that actually do things. How many cards are under me, Ajay? Put a card under you. Couldn't do it. Damn. I was hoping to not cycle 1 more bad card, but here we are. What's under Ajay? I feel like it's all useless. It's a Vicious Blow. Okay, I guess the Vicious Blow is not bad, but the rest of it's useless. Anyway, no tablets, no autofill. Easy game. Beat Cop for the last damage, and he's done. And I'll draw 2 cards. And the Wicked are in need of smiting. They're up here. Discard until I hit an enemy. There we go, Otherworldly Mimic. It's a hunter, he'll come down. We'll see him soon. Should probably put the damage on the Beat Cup, though. That is sort of how the game works. It's only a 13 card deck. I could just try to kill my other Beat Cup before I draw, actually. That sounds pretty reasonable. I'm going to do that. I'm going to try to kill this Beat Cup and just immediately reshuffle and get him back. All right, that means it is now Charlie Kane's turn. We're going to dog the location at 5, 6, 7 to 2 baseline. Bonnie Walsh, 8, 9, get the dog back. 10, sorry, I forgot the additional question mark. That's plenty, reveal the location. This is the middle one now. The middle penalty is that you have to hollow a card. And we're gonna hollow this art student. We don't need them. This location goes down. We cannot use the Knotted Tower's reaction, unfortunately. So we're just gonna go ahead and use a decoy. This is a rules polish thing, actually. I didn't even notice this the first time. Reaction after location is placed to the Knotted Tower, sorry, adjacent to the Knotted Tower. Move to that location from the Knotted Tower. That last parentheses bit doesn't need to be there. You can't use reaction abilities that aren't at your location. You have to go to them to use them. This has always been the case. Like, this is a thing where it clarifies something that never needed clarification. Anyway, we're going to group these up, shuffle them, and we're running out of map here. But oh well. We're going to walk down the hard way. This is another rambling route, another 2 clues. And we need more than that, don't we? Oh, it's over here. It is, yeah, we need 8. We're not doing good enough here. I'll get these clues and then probably... I'm going to keep going this way, even though the map is ugly as sin doing this. Oh, we can go left, actually. That's better. Anyway, we dog the location at, we'll use Leo here, 9 to 2. Yeah, that's not enough. Then I'm going to use an actual action on Abigail Foreman and the Encyclopedia and the Ravenquill, get this back, boost my book to 5. And then we're going to investigate 9 to 2 twice. Get the last clue here. Yeah, that's not good enough. We're gonna go this way. This is right. So we need another decoy. I forgot to put down the next one. Right comes down, put down the next one. Flip these, shuffle them, a 1 here. 1 here. Hopefully we can go left. I'm going to walk here the hard way. Reveal the location. It's another rambling route. Do they all say the same thing? Yeah, these all appear to be the exact same location. Feeling a whole lot of variety going on right now. I do appear to be out of actions though. I have used all 4 of my dogs, walked twice, used the encyclopedia. I don't want to emergency cash into the burden of leadership. I know what's gonna happen if I do that. Oh, a leaky can go off when I reveal these exposed minis. Is there anything in here that I won't? I mean, I can take a deduction to go a little faster, sure. I'll investigate at 3, 4, 5, 6 to 2, just with my last normal action. That'll be a fail. And that's it for us. No enemies. That's not true. The wicked are a-comin'. Upkeep phase. Hopefully I find a way to use that beat cop this turn. The burden of leadership hits. This is a good thing that I didn't draw. Apparently I was correct to be afraid of it the second time. Should have been afraid of it the first time. I'm just bad at the game. The dogs just take 1 damage. The dogs don't give a single shit. Leo exhaust. I think I can just exhaust. I can just like full exhaust this turn. I don't need to do stuff this round. Just like everyone exhausts except the dogs. I'll have a much shorter turn. It's fine. 7 of 10 Doom. Evil cards. Frozen in Fear. A short turn indeed. Enemy. Come on. Enemy. Hey. Perfect. I am going to go first on Zoey. I engage and attack this using 1 charge here. What am I attacking at, actually? This is only 1, 2, 3, 7 to 3. I'm actually going to do the engage action separately to be at 9 to 3 instead. That's an auto-fail against outsiders that are ready, so I'll try again. Cool, that deals 2 damage. And then I tap the beat cop, killing him to finish it off. And he'll cycle just in time. Oh, wait, before I do that, let's imagine I flip the Twisted Anti-Prism, put a Doom on him, and then he dies, because there's literally no reason not to. And I'll also use this other key to pick up a clue, because I just need something flipped at all times. And if I get forced to flip this by something, we discard an asset we control, and we have enough assets to be fine doing that. Although I do realistically want all of them on this character. Anyway, Charlie Kane's up, he's frozen in fear. I dog the location 7 to 2. Seems good. Only 1 clue left. Take it. I'm going to move up to this location. That's 2 actions because of Frozen in Fear. I'm going to Encyclopedia for +2 book as my next action, which will ready the dog because of the Raven Quill. I'm going to dog this adjacent location here that I know must be something by process of elimination. And that is 7 to 3. No, 9 to 3 because I just boosted my book. Tablet, easy game. This is the left one. Grab a decoy, shuffle. Gotta go up this time. The left one comes down. I use this reaction to move to this location and I get safeguarded with Zoey, of course. There's the last 2 clues we need. Frozen in Fear is only once per turn, so we're good there. I'm going to dog the location. If I'm not using deduction now, I don't think I'm ever using deduction, so I'll just use the deduction now. 1,000,000. Take both clues. Move back as my last action. This was supposed to be a shorter turn. It doesn't call us to move again, right? Yeah, so we can just go in once we have an action. This is the end of our turn, though. Cool. We do test head 3. Is there a guts over here? There is not. Do I want to draw cards? Because I'm just failing this test. I can throw Unrelenting at it. I'll save Unrelenting to help on a difficult test later. Like, I'm fully set up. I don't need to draw cards. I'll just fail this unless I hit star. Yeah, that's fine. Upkeep cards. Hello there. We need to flip something or do something bad. Everyone take 1 direct horror. Again. And upkeep phase. You'll take a horror. It can go on Beat Cop. Stand Together's back. I'm going to use Ege. Deep Knowledge can go under. So now there's a Vicious Blow in there. I can get this whenever I need it. Otherwise, they can just stay there and not be in my deck. Top of the round. Is something doomed? Did I just not update the Beat Cop? I did not update for Beat Cop. That is incorrect. Enemy phase. All right, wind it back a second. I just realized that Smite the Wicked is here with Otherworldly Mimic, and then I tried to survival knife him, and then I realized that, wait a second, he's aloof. So he's just here now. Try not to play any cards that are in the holo. Now, top of the round, 8 of 10 Doom. I might have clicked that twice while I was doing my rules mistakes. Hopefully I didn't. If I did, oh well, we're good enough to win anyway. Memory Variant, try not to play events or else they're going in the discard pile. And Apocalyptic Presage, what do you want to lose, boys? Gonna be honest, I'm not sure we need deductions anymore. We have the last clues in the scenario, basically. So these can go. And over here, I like handling this. I like standing together. Daring with this many autofails on the deck seems a little bit sketch. I'll toss that. And I'm gonna go first on Charlie. I double action to move up because of Frozen in Fear. No, Charlie, bad Charlie. Stop trying to snap to things. We reveal this location. Does that advance the act? We advance when we get to Gravity Defying Climb. And there's a bunch of nonsense words on this that'll make sense in a second. So, since we're in Gravity Defying Climb, we set each concealed mini card aside out of play, so all of these are gone now. We don't need any of this nonsense anymore. Alright, so the way that Act 2 works, aside from needing to spend all my clues when you use them to get here, is that now, to get into the top location, we need to reveal the minis for the city locations left first, then middle, then right. Currently, they're all right here. Let's put them in a line. And the way this works is if you reveal the correct one, then it stays exposed and in play. If you reveal anything else, then you put it back face down. So, Charlie's just gonna grind through this real quick. It takes minimum 3 actions, maximum 8 actions. Let's see how long it takes us. Summon Hound, 7, 8, 9. That's a pass. That's a decoy. It says to put it back face down without shuffling. It doesn't say where I have to put it face down, so I'm just gonna move it slightly out of the line. Summoned Hounds. Nope, not quite. Encyclopedia, Abigail, Ravenquill, Ready the Dog. That gives me +4 book. 5, 6, 7. Or 5, 6 bonus, rather. So base of 5 becomes 11. Investigating at 11. Cool, that'll be the next one. Sorry, incorrect, but you are relevant for later. Then we're going to Dog again, this time with Bonnie. 14 to whatever the number is. Sorry, not good enough. You're left, you stay and play and revealed. Where we're looking for is one of these last ones. I forgot to ready a Dog on Bonnie. That's another test at 11. You gotta fail your infinities eventually. Can I meaningfully contribute past that point? Doesn't really feel like I can. I draw on Burn into Leadership this cycle, like immediately, right? Yeah. So I can emergency cash pretty safely just to have done that. And there's no penalty token, so I'll investigate with take card and fail. Oh, nice. I didn't even think about removing curses from the bag because there was only 1 left. Anyway, there's more curses in the bag now and forever. And that'll be it for this round on Charlie. Meanwhile, there's a boss enemy over here at the top of the round that should have went back up to full charges. Ajay has 5 cards under her. She's not doing anything. When this guy engages, I'm going to go ahead and use my ability to deal 1 damage with a cross instead of gaining a money. And then I'm going to swing twice at +2 and +3. So that is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 against 4. Without the second beat cut, these numbers are not quite good enough. I'll live with it. Auto fail. 2 damage. Gonna go ahead and swing again. Auto fail. Because Tablet is auto fail against readied outsider enemies. Nothing to do about it. Enemy phase, he tries to hit me. I got 2 knives. Maybe eventually will not draw one of the 5 tokens that auto fails in this bag of 21. Just 1 in 4 to auto fail against ready outsiders. It's kind of rough. Is Squid is bad? If you're Silas, it is. If you're Winnie, it is. Holy shit. There are just a couple of scenarios in this campaign where if you're playing squids, you better not be playing a skill-based character. Anyways, survival knives are 5, 6, 7 to 4. I pass at -3. Current act, I believe, is actually Act 3. Get out of here, didn't even need the second knife. Alright, upkeep phase. Let's not forget to add a curse to the bag like I do all the time. 9 of 10 Doom. Evil cards. Paracausal entity, I need to throw something away. This preposterous sketches isn't worth my time. Speaking of not worth my time, this guy hunted up during the enemy phase. Not that he did anything. Please stop stacking up. It's not very polite. And Dissonant Voices. That's fine. I mostly just hit things with the Runic Axe and the knives. I don't really need to play events so much. I would have liked to play the beat cop I drew and the stand together, though. That all sounds pretty good. But without that option, I suppose I'm just going to, like, swing. Seems fine. I flip this and put a doom on literally anything. It doesn't matter. It's going away at the end of the round, so I'm just killing it now. And I'm going to engage normally in an effort to preserve charges. I could just kill it with Beat Cop, right? If I get unlucky and somehow don't kill it, I'll just go ahead and use my ability, what is it? On Desi. I'll put the damage on him to kill it if that happens. And again, only deals 1 horror if it gets really lucky. There's nothing else for me to really do, though, so I'm just going to swing once with Glory at plus a lot. This is 4, 5, 8 to 3. Auto fail. I'm going to swing with nothing at 6 to 3. Auto fail. Okay, that's it for Zoey. Need to stop trolling this. I'm not dodging. My foot's too... If Charlie Kane wants to dodge the balls because he has a million ally assets, he can do that. But I'm not going to try to arrange that against normal enemies. I've got enough attacks in a turn that, like, presumably will stop 1-in-4ing the auto-fail eventually, right? Okay, for a second I was like, oh my god, did I hollow an axe like an idiot? I did not. Good. Over here in this hollow pile, it's preposterous sketches, a deduction, nothing I have in my hand, so I don't need to worry. We're going to investigate. We're not going to use any additional resources this turn. Summoned Hound, baseline is 7 to 4. We tap Leo on that first one to make sure it's good enough. 9 to 4. Skull -3, that is progress. Right is for later. Oh, we actually knew where middle was. That was just a wasted action. I'm stupid. It's fine. I do this to boost book a lot. I think I forgot to test Frozen of here last time, but this only hurts me. Anyway, we boost our book by 4, 5, 6, so our 5 becomes an 11. And it readies a dog, and we do the thing. I'm not attacking an outsider this time. I flip middle. I'm going to flip this one with Bonnie, ready the other one. 14 to 4. Flip right. So we did it in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 actions. Could have been 5. So pretty much right in the middle of RNG on this. If you have to go all the way over here, that's just unfortunate. So it looks like this took us 5 turns. Well, it took us 6, really. But it should have taken us 5. Anyway, I have done this. What does that do? We are now able to enter it. So when we enter it, we advance the act, which summons a boss, and Zoe's turn is over. And I've used most of my resources here. I'm just going to draw 4 cards and end my turn. I can dog this guy at +3, but that doesn't seem like it's the best. I mean, the survival knife kills him outright anyway. Oh, I actually haven't even used this recently. Yeah, I'm just going to, like, draw 4 cards on Charlie. One of them was at a crossroads, unfortunately. I don't want to give an action to her because she has, like, Beat Cop, Vicious Blow, Stand Together, Fangs, Let Me Handle This in her hand, like a bunch of really good cards. Do I just draw 3 on Charlie? I guess. And then next turn I'll lose an action. If I put 2 on top of each other and flip the whole stack, does it work in upkeep? Ah, it does, unfortunate. But I can mark that now. Over here, right, enemy phase. At the end it adds a curse. Can we, we're swinging 7 to 3. We're beating the -4s. Hey, look at that. It's not that hard to kill people. Okay. Top of the round, this will go back to full. Upkeep phase finishes. Paradimensional Understanding. Did I just forget to use this again? That's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate, because if I hadn't forgotten to use that, that would have been very helpful. No, because it would still have been this round. All right, we're discarding assets then. We just have to do this one. I can't afford to flip 2 right now. I need these for the boss in a second. Safeguard's really unnecessary. At this point, it saves me 1 move action. Seems like my least valuable thing, probably. And over here, it forces you to discard as well. I don't think you need the second magnifying glass. Seems like it's obviously the worst card in the deck right now. Anyways, 10 Doom, Agenda advances. Elder Sign is free. Flip each decoy over. how's that work with this? Because these aren't decoys and they are flipped face up, right? The next in sequence remains in play and exposed. This flips each decoy over, shuffling all concealed mini cards in play at random positions. But that does literally nothing because the puzzle's done already. So this would waste more time if we hadn't finished the puzzle already. But because we're done, it doesn't do anything on that first part. And then everyone takes 2 damage and do horror, or they can shift an unstable key they control without flipping it to cancel the damage, or they can flip any number of stable keys to cancel that much damage or horror. But let me tell you, I am not afraid of damage. I'm gonna put 1/1 there. I'm gonna put 1/1 on a leaky. That's the 2/2 for her. I'm going to just take 2/2 myself as Zoey. I'm a tank, it's fine. Dissonant Voices is gone. And that's it for Doom. 7 turns left. Evil cards. Compulsion. I didn't test Frozen Fear at the end of my last turn. I know I didn't. I also didn't have anything to do, so this is not doing anything. Did I add a curse during the enemy phase? I have an add curse right there, but I don't know how far ago that was. I don't think I did. Evil card here. Ugh, gross. Distorted Reasoning? Not a fan. Okay, Distorted Reasoning's not really the biggest deal right now. I'm going to first action play Beat Cop. 1, 2, 3, 4. Second action, move into the final location. We need to break the link because sadly, we are no longer together. I don't know how to remove this. Look, he's gonna be coming up right after me. It's fine, it's fine. Just remove the move action now because I can't remember how to break a joined character set. And that progresses to the final act, right? Yes, good. In the final act, all the concealed mini cards go aside, out of play. So all this stuff leaves. Medic Nemesis comes down. Red Glove Man goes away. Did I play any events? I mean, if I did, it doesn't really seem like it matters, but I don't think I've been playing events. But Medic Nemesis is here now. He has concealed... How much concealed does he have? 2 players decoys, so only 4 for us. Oh. I was thinking this guy always had 6 decoys and it was a hard tax, so I'm just stupid. But at only 5 total cards as opposed to 7 total in 3-player. And with the number of keys we currently have, we're about to stomp this guy. As an action, we can flip a stable key you control to its unstable side to remove an exposed decoy from the game. If we kill a Medic Nemesis, advance. And coming over here, because there's like a lot of different rules involved at this point, we have a 6-shroud location. Forced when a concealed mini card around this location is exposed. If it is the Mimetic Nemesis mini card, deal the Mimetic Nemesis 3 damage, then flip all concealed mini cards face down and shuffle them. If it is a decoy, it remains in play and exposed. But this isn't just the way to deal damage to this guy. In addition to that, you have the Mimetic Nemesis, which is a 5/3/5 enemy. Massive, it does not make attacks opportunity. It has a 9 health. But forced when it would take 1 or more damage from an attack or player card. Choose and reveal a concealed mini card. If it's a decoy, cancel all damage just dealt. Otherwise, the damage is dealt as normal, then flip all revealed mini cards face down and shuffle them. Hits for 3/3. So you can see that if you're trying to fight this guy and there's a bunch of decoys, it's gonna do nothing 4 out of 5 times. At 2 players and more than that. You need to be flipping your keys and dealing with these decoys. And the only way to do that consistently is to do it to the location as opposed to this guy to get rid of the decoys without actually, causing problems for yourself. So, we have moved up on Zoey. We're here. The only thing we can really do that makes any sense is fight the location. Oh. We can do something a little bit more sensible than that. We can use a Beat Cop on the location and flip a card. Oh. Well, I still have to get rid of all of them anyway, but there's 3 damage, I guess, from the location. Because that just deals 3 damage immediately, then flip all of them and shuffle them again. Look, we're gonna do this the correct way this time. We're gonna Beat Cop the location again. Cool, it's a decoy. I'm gonna use my action up here to flip a stable key to its unstable side to remove an exposed decoy from the game as my last action. Are my Beat Cops interrupted by this? God, I don't know how this interacts with lightning bolts. It breaks my brain. I don't know if lightning bolts interrupt it, and therefore you can't do the same lightning bolt back to back. I think that actually is the case, so I have to use my action on something else. I gain a resource, so I can play, I play Stand Together on myself. Charlie's not here. So that I can use the second lightning bolt, and I can't actually get rid of this decoy, I think, because Distorted Reasoning is breaking my Beat Cops. Didn't get a gut, so I'm just testing +1 on distorted reasoning. Definitely a fail. Over here, we've walked up, we had a chance encounter, or sorry, at a crossroads, so we've already lost 2 actions. Test compulsion. That's not a symbol on this card, we're good. Okay, Frozen in Fear, lose another action. For most characters, this would be very bad. Their whole turn would already be done, but not for Charlie fucking Kane. Charlie Kane's just getting started. As Charlie Kane, I'm going to use my first action to flip something over and kill this decoy like I said I was going to. Then I'm going to dog the location. I'm going to use Bonnie Walsh and Leo DeLuca. And Bonnie's going to ready the Leo DeLuca. I just know this is a very high number, so I can't afford to get as many actions as I normally would, especially without the encyclopedias because of the action taxes. So this is normally 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 to 6. That'll reveal a mini. And then I'll dog the location one more time. 5, 6, 7, 8. Not a great odds. Oh, I have Abigail. I should have exhausted Abigail for this and her, but it doesn't actually end up mattering. I just get the next one. Stop that! I'm trying to do it correctly and not be lucky. He's almost dead. I'm trying to do the thing where, like, this is a big part of why this ending is so much easier, is because you have all the keys and you can kill the decoys. But I've just found him twice in 4 checks, which is pretty above par for a 1 in 5. He hits us, which, you know, is a pretty large amount of damage. I'm not going to pretend it isn't, but I can soak damage, horror. I do have to take 2 horror myself, but I like not killing my allies, so I'll live with that. Over here, we can take the 1. We can take another. And sadly, our beat cop will have to die with the last horror, but we can also give him 2 damage. Then we take the damage ourselves. Getting slapped for that much is a little bit of a hassle. Probably should have, like, tried to evade him as Charlie, but Charlie didn't get any actions that turn, which is why I didn't. 3-3 is a very large number, though. By the way, in card reviews, this is the specific scenario we broke with Predator or Prey. I mentioned this. So if you're, like, ending your turn down here because this guy doesn't have Hunter and makes attacks of opportunity, and you get Predator or Prey and there's an enemy in play, and no one's engaged with them because you're just considered to be engaged with them, the only legal option then is each unengaged enemy move once towards the nearest investigator. It doesn't say non-elite, so this guy just, like, walks off the top and just does nothing while you kill him up here. That's what happened in our first playthrough. It was pretty solid. Predator or Prey just breaks the scenario because it doesn't have a non-elite tag, and I find it very funny. And there's no way it's an isolated incident. I'm sure it pops up in a bunch of other scenarios with elite enemies on locations they should be stopping. Anyway, 1 of 7 Doom. Let's end the scenario. Probably should take my upkeep phases. Why are there so many cards in that hand? What the fuck? All right, at some point I must have just accidentally drawn cards from this. I don't even understand how. What happened? I didn't have Maelson in my hand, so presumably all of this shouldn't have been drawn, and Maelson should have been my upkeep draw. I have no idea how that happened. I was just getting Predator Prey to joke about that, and somehow I drew my entire deck as Charlie without looking at it. A little bit weird. Anyway, there is an aloof mimic here. You would think this location or this act or this agenda, something would make them non-aloof here, but no, nothing does. He's just gonna hang. Oh, speaking of enemy phase, this guy also comes. There's a very wicked mimic with us as well. And dissonant voices. Once again, I cannot play cards. God forbid I use Fang of Tearthrow to deal damage to the final boss. Oh, but I do get to survival knife the boss. I probably should have done that. Like, there's just no reason not to. So let's go ahead and do those rolls. I just forgot about them. I was really concerned about soaking the 12 damage my team just ate. But yeah, we should probably survival knife the boss. Oh, also, speaking of things we should probably do, we should probably put, like, the horror on somebody else, because there are cards that deal us direct horror. Anyway, survival knives on the boss. It's not great. It's 5 fists. We're swinging up 2. But hey, it can pull curses out the back. It can hit him. And if it hits him, it just kills him. It's real funny. Anyway, since it misses, though, it just shuffles these again. All I'm doing is wasting time by following the rules. And that one's a fail. Cool. Now it's actually our turns. We've done the things. Dissonant voices, aloof mimic. Gonna go first on Charlie Kane because he's the one that wins the game. I am going to investigate with dog, base value 7 to 6, 9 to 6 with Leo, 12 to 6 with Bonnie, which readies dog. Actually, I don't need to use Leo then, 10 to 6 is good enough. I'm going to commit perception. Let's test our compulsion, just forgot about that. That is, in fact, a compulsion ability. Get out of here, actions, we don't need you. Anyway, testing at 1,000,000. Good enough, draw 2. And I'm also going to flip a card. It's a decoy. I am going to spend an action on Ravenquill Encyclopedia Abigail Foreman. Oh, I did this in the wrong order. I'm going to summon Hound again. Oh, I was off by one. I have a magnifying glass that's not working. That's sad. I'm going to commit Unrelenting, and not seal tokens. This puts me at 5, 6, 7, 8 to 6. Oh, I need more than that. Fine, I'll practice. Makes perfect. Are there cards in here that affect it? No, not a great practice makes perfect then, is it? Oh, I have the perception in my hand. There we go. Now we win by 5. Okay. We're on Act 4. That's no problem. Draw 2 more cards. We're at a crossroads. I don't need any cards in my hand, so I give myself an action back. I'll just discard the card now because I'm not playing any of these, and I'll forget if I don't. I got compulsed. And I investigated with dog twice. The second test was a success, so we should look at more of them. At this point, we can kill the Mimetic Nemesis. Like, we just know we can do that. But damn it, I'm going to do it right and get rid of the things. I'm not sure why I only have 2 actions right now. I should probably have 3 because I'm at a crossroads, right? I just didn't flip anything. Is that what happened? Pretty sure that's the case. Anyway, Encyclopedia. Dalla comes back. +4 book this round. I'm going to spend an action and flip this key to remove this decoy from play with the act ability. I'm going to spend an action and flip this key and remove this decoy from the game. So that's down to 1 action. I think I have no keys left. Yeah, they're all on the bad side now. So I'm just dogging the location. That's not even an action. We're looking at 5, 6. We're looking at 10 to 6 baseline. Tap Leo to break the -5s. That's fine. Tap this person to break the -5s. Reveal a card. It's a decoy. All right, cool, Zoe. All you have to do is hit him once. You think you can manage that? He doesn't have Retaliate or anything, does he? No, we're fine. We're fine. We're swinging 3 times. All 3 times, we're just using the +2 to hit in addition to the +1. But it doesn't make attacks of opportunity. But I have dissonant voices, so it doesn't matter. Overpowered on the first one at 1,000,000. Cool. It's an auto fail. Vicious Blow on the second one at 1,000,000. -5 is not enough, right? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. -5. All right, I had to check my math because at 1,000,000's not just universally true, and also this is my last action. This is my middle action. I played Tetsuo, I guess, because distorted reasoning is always messing me up. But that does reveal Mimetic Nemesis on the hit. So he takes 2 from the hit, and then forced effect. When you expose the Mimetic Nemesis' mini card, deal it 3 damage, bringing him to 11, and overkilling him by 2. He's dead. So, like, it's a weird finale, right? I don't think I've ever played a finale before and come away with the impression of, well, that was strange. Every other time I played a finale, I've had like really immediate strong opinions about it. Whether it was that was awesome, or I loved X but hated Y, or just it could have been really cool if we had weaker characters, but we crushed it, so it was so easy that it sort of ruined what the scenario could have been, which, by the way, was the opinions we've had on our playthroughs of Innsmouth and on our first playthrough of Edge of the Earth. But for this one, it's just like, that first area with just like 3 locations is pretty brief. And maybe you just walk over it with 1,000,000 free assets, or maybe you spawn and engage with a bunch of elite enemies. Who knows? What did you do in the campaign? And then you get here and it's like, hey, go do this thing for like a couple of turns. All right, cool. Now just reveal minis. Just like spend some time. We'll see how much it takes. And then you get to the end and it's like, here's a giant boss. Hopefully you have someone on your team who can evade it because you're not soaking this damage for multiple turns. Here's the really awkward mechanic by which you'll be dealing it damage. It's just weird. I don't know. I don't like fighting the Mimetic Nemesis very much. I hate this location with this stupid little ordering puzzle. It's not even a puzzle. You're just rolling dice and seeing how long you roll dice until you finish getting 1, then 2, then 3. That's literally what it is. And then you just like do Bermuda, but only for a little bit, and it's not very hard. I don't know what the second half of this scenario is. The first half is like a cool story resolution thing that leads into the second half. And I like that, actually. I like the idea that story effects have a huge impact on what the first part of the scenario is, even though it's a pretty short part. It can either be a walkover or really fucking scary, depending on whether or not you're spawning with multiple elite enemies engaged with you, or if the coterie loves you because you've saved their leader and helped them at every turn. Like, that's cool. I like the first part a lot, but then this happens, and it's just like Bermuda Light followed by Time Waster, followed by really scary boss that just literally does nothing if you have someone who can evade against 5 foot reliably. And then if you don't have that, then he's very, very scary because he's hitting you for so much, especially if you didn't get the free soak assets. And like, theoretically, I would like the idea of a medic nemesis, right? Because then, like, holy shit, that's a reason to run Sweeping Kick or other auto evade mechanics, right? A reason to run cards that let you evade this than you normally can. And that is cool. I like that. But the mechanic for fighting him is just weird and tedious. And I feel like if you ran a campaign where you only got like 4 keys, because I only had like 3 keys, right? And then everyone joined me and they brought 4 keys with them. So like, if you had a hard version of the scenario where you had to fight people at the start and you show up with like 3 keys, which is not a player scaling thing. Your campaign just gets 3 keys, no matter how many players you have. And this dude has 1,000,000 decoys. Like, that's really scary. This is one of the few things where lower player counts scale better, because this guy's number of decoys is only going to get higher, but your number of keys isn't as the player count goes up. I don't know. I feel weird about this boss, I feel bad about this, I feel bad about this, and I love the beginning. I'm very mixed and mostly feel like this scenario is just a bit odd. However, the most important thing is that setup for it is terrible. Figuring out how this works and how this works and how this works when you haven't played Bermuda, being told just dig through your whole collection to find this gang of chucklefucks that calls themselves a conspiracy theory. Like, the setup for this is brutal on your first playthrough. In your first playthrough, you don't even know you're supposed to keep track of these things. It's just like, count how many people vote yes or no. And then later, you're like, oh, I have to go get the ones that voted nay as ally assets and the one who voted yay as enemy assets. Glad I didn't mark that down. I get to go look through it all again. Like, the setup for this is so brutal that it really ruined it our first time through. But now, like, on my 3rd time through this scenario, I like the boss a lot more. I'm beginning to really like the boss, honestly. Even though I think this is player scaling in a weird way that's negative for large groups, and even though I think it's not necessarily a fun thing to deal with, and I've never seen an enemy more hard countered by just having someone with high foot. And I guess, like, maybe that's true in every scenario, right? Like, maybe every final boss can just be evaded by someone with 11 foot and then they do nothing. But usually you're not forcing your entire party to go stand next to a massive enemy hitting for 3-3. Like, other than Umordhoth, I'm not sure there are that many scenarios that tell you to do this. I don't know. I'll give more opinions on this next time when I go through, like, a campaign review about my experiences this time in the decks. But for now, I'm done. We can go get our resolution, I suppose. R1. Anyone who's defeated is driven insane, they're never seen from again, their memory is purged from existence, but no one was defeated. And then you read R1. You throw a coin onto the map to see where in reality you pop out. I ain't got any coins, but here's some otherworld locations. It looks like this guy landed in the ocean and died, but I'm gonna be somewhere around the West African coast and probably be able to live on whoever the first guy was, not that it really matters. Theoretically, I guess flavor-wise, you probably got picked up by a ship and don't just drown in the ocean. Anyway, that's where we pop out back into reality once we get through with all the fake Mimic Realm madness. We record that the outsiders were stopped. We all suffered 2 mental and physical trauma, because if you're the kind of person that thinks you get to play multiple campaigns with the same investigators, we hate you and we want you to know it. And also, you all earn 5 bonus experience, because if you're the kind of person who does that, we love you and we want you to know it. It's a really, really ambivalent relationship. A lot of mixed feelings going on. But we won the campaign. Proceed to epilogue. And in the epilogue, our cell gets dismantled because we just work with the coterie at every turn, but we didn't actually join the coterie. Because in the true ending where you save them, you can't join the coterie. It's just kinda weird. You'd think that would be an option available to you, but it's not. You have to have them vote to not kill you and have that go through to get the version where you join it. Anyways, that's been the Scarlet Keys. Charlie has been nuts. These dogs and Bonnie Walsh are just ridiculous. This stuff with the encyclopedia where I just take another dog action and get +4 to my book my whole turn, like, that's cool, that's nice. Super unnecessary, costs like 12 experience to add that to the deck, not remotely important. The main thing with this deck, like the experience core of it, is just summon, hound, chance, encounter, and then as much draw as you can pack in. It's like 20 experience for the version of this that was fully online. And even in scenario 1, the deck was still like a very good cluever. Like, it wasn't breaking the game. It wasn't a 5-book seeker. But in scenario 1, it was still strong enough to do the job easily in a 2-player campaign where no one else was helping get the clues. And even in the first scenario, I still managed to get a dog online eventually because there's so much draw. I'll talk about Charlie Kane more in a video about Charlie Kane. But yeah, he did great. Over here, Runic Axe I'm still real conflicted about. As a main fighter, like, the survival knives don't even fix the problem, right? Because I still swing 3 times with this and then survival knife if they live. So, like, I feel like as Zoey, at least, with fangs and spectral razors and bandoliered knives, I was never at risk of running out of stuff. And even with another player, I would have been fine, right? Because I would have just had a lot of turns where I engaged an enemy as my last action and double knifed them. Oh yeah, I was supposed to be talking about Zoey, not just Runic Axe, right? Zoey is great. She's a 4-head, 4-fist Guardian, which means she can resist the Mythos deck and kill guys. She has the ability to run 5 splash cards, and as far as I'm concerned, the best 5 are down the rabbit hole for 14 free experience. And then in addition to that, just also pick up, 2 copies of Deep Knowledge and 2 copies of Spectral Razor, because that card's just nuts in Zoey. You just get more consistency, more experience, more power as a fighter. As far as basically mono blue characters go, it's a pretty good card pool. Like, I don't think she's oppressive. I don't think she's in the top tier or the tier beneath it, but I definitely think she's a very strong investigator. Everyone knows that. Everyone's seen Zoey played. The main thing I'm curious about is Runic Axe, and I'm still not sure how I feel about it. Kind of funny that I never used the Repair to the Worst under my stick to plan once. That's actually what I thought while I was building the deck. I thought I would never need to play that I had too much other draw, and that I should replace that with something else. I still think it's right to do it, just in case you completely whiff. But, like, I literally did not play stick to the plan once this campaign. I think Runic Axe is a fine weapon. I think for the experience, like, the 10 experience version is just the cost of 2 Cyclopean Hammers. And then the cheaper versions that are, like, doing their job very consistently are very, very worth it when you just have, like, Saga and Hunt. And that's essentially a 2 experience weapon, right? 2 for each copy, 4 total. And it just gives you the ability to get so many different effects from your charges with 2 charges around. Then later on, you invest another 4 into Script Weaver, and you start being able to do a lot of busted stuff by getting more value out of each individual charge. I don't think it's insane. I don't think it's on the same tier as Flamethrower, but because it fits into the Bandolier Survival Knife strategy, if you're playing a high draw blue character, you can probably get away with this and have, like, the same level of efficacy as a Flamethrower build, which is really impressive. I think Runic Axe is a really good melee weapon. I've got this hesitation about it because of the charges, but, like, that's stupid. I shouldn't have that, because the reality is, Runic Axe is the only weapon in the game that says you get to attack twice at +3 for 2 damage every turn forever. Alright, Cyclopean Hammer exists. Fucking ignore Cyclopean Hammer for a second. Runic Axe is, like, one of the only weapons that says that. If you need to attack more than twice a round so often that you're running out of charges on the Runic Axe, then my answer to that is run Bandolier and Survival Knives, run Spectral Razor, run Fang of Tear Thrower, run Sweeping Kick. There are other fight cards you need, but for this to be a problem, you have to have been fighting 3 times a turn for multiple consecutive turns. And that just doesn't happen a lot in this game. So I think Runic Axe is just, like, actually a top tier melee weapon that deserves to have a lot more praise than I was giving it initially. I originally thought Runic Axe was really only good for flex investigators that didn't really need their hands to find clues. And that might still be true. I'm not sure how many of those exist. Sounds like a non-Cyclopean Hammer weapon for Diana Stanley when I put it like that. But realistically, I think it's a really, really good weapon. I think if I have, like, an S tier for weapons, this would be like Machete, Survival Knife, Flamethrower, Cyclopean Hammer in the S tier. I think this is one of the few weapons that actually gets to live in the A tier, though. And honestly, I should probably move Survival Knife down to the A tier, but I'm just severely biased because I love this card. I love being the fighter, and you're like, yeah, I can save you. I'm gonna play 2 assets and then engage the enemy and I'm done. And they're like, but he has 3 health. And you're like, I've got 2 attempts to stab him for 2 at very high numbers, and I can beat cop him for the 3rd one. I love the raw, unparalleled action economy of Survival Knives. And I honestly think it puts them comparable. If you have anything else to put in your hands, like the Runic Axe, Survival Knives can rival Cyclopean Hammers and Flamethrowers. And then Machete 0 experience and just does damage forever, so obviously it gets to live there. But it's not a competitive in-game weapon, it's S tier for a different reason. And I think Runic Axe being, like, right behind that gang is really impressive. And also, it's one of the only cards that is an experience weapon you can run alongside Survival Knives that feels good to run alongside Survival Knives. Before now, it's pretty much just been Machete. and that's kind of all you had, and if you were engaged with multiple enemies, you were just swinging for one, and it sucked. But Runic Axe actually fixes that, which is pretty cool. Anyway, I've been going too long. I'm gonna have a more comprehensive analysis video in the future. Been rambling a bit. I'll see you in the next few videos talking about these decks, about these cards, going through it all. And I hope you enjoyed the Scarlet Keys. I had a really good time. There are a couple scenarios, namely Without a Trace, Squall, and Boar, which I didn't play, and to a much lesser degree, Conquest of the Keys, where I have issues with it. But on the whole, I think it's a really good campaign. I think this first section here is like so good. I think Dead Heat is amazing. I think Sanguine Shadows, Dogs of War, and Riddles of Rain are all different degrees of very good. I think Dealings in the Dark is one of my favorite scenarios in the game, period, end of story. And then it sort of falls off at the end. On Thin Ice is just like a perfectly passable good scenario. Without a Trace feels painfully random without any cool thematic upsides. And then Conquest of the Keys has its ups and downs. And I don't know where I feel on it yet, but I don't think I feel great about it. Anyways, I'm rambling. Again, I've got to stop. These are separate videos. I've been rather incoherent. I hope you enjoyed the series. I hope you've been liking Scarlet Keys. Hope you enjoyed seeing Charlie and Zoe. Probably won't be seeing either of them again for a very long time on this channel. And if you did, then like, comment, subscribe. All of that nonsense really does help the channel grow, and I'll see you in the next one.